तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वंदे गुरुर्मंडलम्। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। प्रणाम गुरुजी। शिवोहम।
Shivoham Acharya.
Shivoham. Any questions so far?
Just one small. This is what I understood is basically having some kind of attachment. We'll be having the Vapara Vairagyam also. Apara Vairagyam will have some kind of little attachment to the some kind of qualities kind of thing. I'm not sure. Is that mean? And Para Vairagyam is complete, not which being aware of only true self kind of thing. Not thinking of anything otherness. You're talking about otherness should not be thinking. I mean, awareness should be of otherness should not be there. Awareness of only self. That is the Paravairagya. Is that correct or?
Some understanding can go to that extreme. Awareness on the truth. Awareness on one. Yes, that is Paravairagya. Aparavairagya, Paravairagya. Okay. Aparavairagya means a Vairagya which is rooted in your choice of detachment, expression of detachment with Vishayas. Vishaya means subject of knowledge. Subject of or the objects of knowledge. Objects of knowledge. For example, from eyes you see multiple things, right? And you may be quite attracted to some of them, may feel aversion from some of them, right? So from eyes you see multiple things, but in those and many people, out of those you may be attracted to some, you may want some, you may have likes for them, you may not have like, maybe you have dislike for others, right? Correct? So the objects of sense organs, when we look at and we do not discriminate, or at least do not try to get attached to. Okay. We hear so many things. The same ear gives us the knowledge of all the words spoken, right? So somebody calls us, let's say, you are a great person. Not a great person you want to hear. Somebody says you are an idiot. So you say, an idiot, I don't want to listen. Okay. So the ear is capable of giving the sensation of many words, right? Words which you understand, which you can make out, give meaning to, correct? And out of those words, you may like some, you may have aversion for some, correct? Similarly, take other indriyas or other organs of cognition. We may like a particular taste, we may be full of disgust for other kind of taste, yes or no? So that way, you may like certain dishes, you may reject that I don't like this dish at all. So the objects of sense organs, when we are exposed to the world, these sense organs are giving us this knowledge of different objects pertaining to their own field of observation, right? Eyes about rupa or form, ear about words, shabda, taste, and so on and so forth. So these are the objects of objects which are cognized by your sense organ. When you do not discriminate among objects, when you do not discriminate among objects, and when you do not differentiate among objects based on different aspect of the same object, when you don't get attached to the same objects based on different aspects of the same object. For example, you say, I like this shape, but I don't like this taste, its taste. You see, in the same object, we are again discriminating on the basis of eyes and basis of taste. Yes or no? I love to see this person, but as soon as he opens or she opens her mouth or he opens his mouth, I don't want to hear it. So the same person, we are now experiencing at two levels. I love the shape, the body, the luster, the everything, the body shape and everything. I love this. This is a beautiful person for me, but I don't like the speech part. Let's say, right? The same object viewed from different aspects. So if you are saying, if this person keeps his mouth shut or keeps her mouth shut, this person is okay. I'm okay. I love that person with the mouth shut, right? So the same object may become, is experienced through all five senses, right? So some objects you reject outrightly based on one sense input. You become attached to based on only one sense input. And others, you find that because every object is rasa, rupa, shabda, gandha, sparsha, right? All the qualities mostly we are attaching to, except the words and the smell, right? Multiple tanmatras are associated with each and every object. Yes or no? So that is the discrimination among objects. Right? Discrimination among objects, and based on that discrimination, that based on that distinction, our attachment or aversion to those objects, when we are done with it, we create that state of dispassion. That state of dispassion is called aparavairagya. Now come to paravairagya. Paravairagya is not about the objects. Paravairagya is about the subject of the Gyanendriyas itself. Right? Understand?
Yeah.
Not the objects, but the subject now. The subject of the eyes is vision. Subject of the ears is hearing or words. Subject of rasana or tongue is taste. Subject of skin is touch. And so, subject of the nose is smell. Now, think of a situation when you say, I am not attached to hearing. I am not attached to seeing itself. Okay. I am not attached to smell. I am not attached to taste at all. See? And I am not attached to touch. Not at all. That means not attached means if it is there, it is okay. If it is not there, it is okay. Both ways. Subject. Now we are talking of subject, not the object. So when this kind of vairagya is developed, that moment itself you drop all your bondages. And therefore, I'll give you one example from the life of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, and you will understand that little bit of attachment with the world is actually needed for you to remain alive.
Yes.
Okay. For example, Ramakrishna Paramahansa was attached to or deliberately attached to one Gyanendriya which is called Rasana. He was very fond of many dishes. His beloved consort Ma Sharada used to tease him. Itne bade sant ho, so big a saint you are, and you're still Rasagulla, Kachori, Puri, you are attached to. Think of that situation. When you have no attachment with the world at all, you're completely dispassionate. Tell me, what is the purpose of staying here? Do you have any
Yes.
purpose to stay here? Tell me.
No.
If you do
No.
not have attachment to anything in this world, you're okay with the world, you're okay with no world, you're okay with the senses, you're okay with no senses. A Vairagya means I'm okay with all the senses, I'm okay without all the senses. Right?
Mm.
I have no attachment to any of the senses. So he developed this deliberate sense of attachment with the rasana. Okay. Why? Because otherwise he was completely dispassionate. He had no passion left for anything. Why? Because he had recognized his true nature, right? And the true nature of the world. You may say, such a person must be deeply depressed person. No, such a person is all liberated and rooted in such an ananda experience, because for him the world does not exist. Purpose of life is to recognize yourself and the true meaning of this world. What is this world? Who am I? And what is the relation? What is the purpose of the creation of this world? What is the purpose of me being here? Once that purpose is solved, the whole world is useless. The world
Yes.
is a means to attain the goal of self. Once the self is recognized, world is meaningless. Getting back to that little explanation further, so Ramakrishna Paramahansa one day told Ma Sharada that, look here, the day I stop demanding delicacies, the day I stop demanding good food, you please take note that in 7 days itself I will be gone. Okay. And actually that happened. Somehow Ma Bhagavati created that situation also for him, or probably he manifested that situation for himself. In one day he was offered food and then he just pushed it away. Okay. Some may say that he had developed throat cancer and therefore he was not eating, and that must have been painful, etc. But remember his words which he had spoken years ago. So such a situation is created only for the others to see that there is a reason for rejection. Right? Otherwise they'll say, बहुत बड़े संत थे, बहुत बड़े सिद्ध थे, great saint he was. He fulfilled his promise. The day he said no to the food also, he is in 7 days he was gone. But situation is such in which you'll say, he is an ordinary man. He always wanted to remain an ordinary man. That is what the whole life of Ramakrishna Paramahansa is. He always used to say, never become a guru. Always remain a seeker. Always remain a sadhak. Always remain a practitioner. Never try to become a guru, because the day you become guru, you can't learn. The day you become guru, your ego is boasted. With bloated ego, you can't operate in this world normally. And you'll walk like this. Ramakrishna Paramahansa is that example in the latest history, where he had shown that if this iota of Vairagya is not left, there is no purpose of this being here. Okay? And I can tell you, I'll give you another example. People who are so much indulgent, highly indulgent, people who are too much attached to their families, people who are what we call in the word sansarik, engaged in the world,
mm, mm,
they don't die easily, even when they are on the deathbed. They say, I want to die, but I'm not dying. प्राण निकलते नहीं. क्यों नहीं निकलते? एक संत पुरुष होगा, एक साधक होगा. If there's a person who is saintly, the person who has recognized the purpose of life, the person who recognizes that I am going to, this jiva is eternal, it faces no death. For him, if this leela, this vigraha, this body is being separated, he is happily able to drop it. That's the problem with the sadhaks. They give up so easily. Higher the koti of sadhak, he would find that, theek hai, what is the purpose of life? Purpose of life is to know myself. And I have a kind of known myself that there is no purpose in this world. And therefore, when they are faced with the situation, death-like situation, they easily give up. For them, the passage is so easy. They drop the world at will. ठीक है, इतना ही ठीक था. ठीक है, जी लिया, बहुत जी लिया. ठीक है, जो करना था कर लिया, यही तो करते रहेंगे. अभी हमारे लड़के बच्चे हुए हैं, कल को इनके लड़के बच्चे होंगे, फिर इनके लड़के बच्चे होंगे, यही तो चलता रहेगा. हो गया जी, हो गया. ठीक है. So such a sadhak is hardly interested in that life which we think life is, right? Because he is rooted in the purpose of life. He is rooted in the knowledge, ultimate knowledge, that I remain, whether the body remains or not. I am eternal. Whether the world remains or not, I remain. Whether the senses remain or not, I remain. Whether the sense objects remain or not. So the one who is step by step moving, one who remains and says I remain, whether the objects of the senses remain or not, he says okay, but the senses still remain. Yeah, he is able to denounce that also. Says whether the subject, the senses, the capacity remains or not, I remain. I recognize myself beyond that. That kind of a person, why he'll be attached to the world? He is rooted in Paravairagya. Okay? So the definition of Aparavairagya is detachment from sense objects. Definition, roughly I'm giving. Definition of Paravairagya is detachment from the subject of sense organs themselves. Subject of sense organ, hearing, words, not attached. Taste, not attached. Capacity to taste, not attached. Capacity to hear, not attached. Capacity to see, not attached. That's the state of Paravairagi, highest Vairagi. But I'll tell you, such a Vairagya, for the ordinary people of ordinary intellect and shallow understanding, would say such a person is useless person. Okay? Useless person. Such a person is letting go the opportunity which is life. Because he is not exerting himself in this life. He is not creating things in life. He is not excelling in life. He is not taking responsibilities of life. The ultimate responsibility of this life is to recognize our true self, which is beyond this body. Recognize that the world exists only for the purpose of self-recognition. That's the ultimate purpose. Once that is recognized, there is no purpose left at all. There is no ambition to be followed. There is no goal to be pursued. There is nothing which remains undone And that is why there is this word in Sanskrit which is called krita krityata. Have done whatever was supposed to be done. Having done, or at least feeling, experiencing that kind of state within, where you say, I have done whatever needed to be done. No more doing. I have known whatever was to be known. No more knowing. Okay. That krita krityata is ultimate. Having experienced what for we have come here, what is the purpose here? All of us who are dependent on such people, all of us who love such people, all of us who want the company of such people may say, Arey, what was the need? What was the purpose? Why Ramakrishna Paramahansa left within 7 days? His presence was needed. He was serving a purpose. But each one of us, please remember, each one of us are born with that purpose for which our gurus, our ancient teachers, our enlightened parents, if they have achieved it, that is the purpose we are born for. Right? Not for the purpose of only recognizing that this is life, this is life. Life is, of course, this is what is life, but this has a purpose. The purpose is not to go on running. Purpose is not pravritti. Pravritti means activity, 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 activity. Completely restless activities are called pravritti. The world, if you engage more in world, from one pravritti, there is another pravritti. Multiple pravrittis are born. Right? That means when you accomplish something in this world, your work increases. It never reduces. Suppose you want something in this world. You want a bigger house for yourself. Good, big house. They say, having achieved, I will be less active. No, you cannot. Having a bigger house will engage you in more activities. Right? So from pravritti to more pravritti. Right? Correct. This is our progression. If we are engaged in life, with प्रवृत्ति से प्रवृत्ति ही निकलती है. The प्रवृत्ति or activity or tendency of activity, tendency of engagement increases, continues to increase. And what happens is, हम जैसे कहते हैं ना, पागल कुत्ते की तरह दौड़ते हुए मर जाते हैं. शांति नहीं होती. We don't achieve that shanti. Like a mad dog, we continue to run. Because after one stopover, we run more vehemently, more furiously. Yes or no? The running continues, and the speed of running and the energy of running, exhaustion, complete exhaustion. How do we leave this world? Completely exhausted. That is what world does to us. But the one who has tried to know himself will be able to peacefully operate in this world, peacefully accept that the world exists and there is one God who takes care of us all. Nobody is besahara here. उसका सहारा सबको है. यदि हमने इस बात को recognize कर लिया, if we can recognize that nobody can ever say that the world, the existence, God is not supporting me. The creator of the world creates all the systems for our survival. Not only that, all the avenues for our growth. Not only that, all the situations in life to recognize the fact that world is not permanent. Right or not? That world is not permanent. When we say world is not permanent, we say, acha, world is not permanent, but we are permanent, na? Are we permanent? But that is not a matter of gloom or sadness. That's only a fact, right? And we need not be angry or sad about it. In our childhood, we have always experienced some sort of burning. We touched fire, got near to a flame, and we burnt ourselves, right? That day we recognized that fire burns. And burning is not a pleasant experience, by the way. You're not full of any kind of remorse or anger towards that fire. Is it not? Rather, fire burns if not handled properly. That's the learning. Once learning happens, you don't have any problem in this world. Anybody who has learned from life will not have contempt for life. No, neither he will feel as sad and continue sad and full of all sort of remorse for life. For example, yes, there is death in this life. Yes, it exists. And second, we can't do anything about it. Our parents lost their parents right now. Whatever age, that's immaterial now. Death exists. But they have gone. Are they not living? Did they not take care of their children? They did. Accepting the fact that everyone who is born is going to go. Once you accept this fact, you are not full of contempt towards God also. तो भगवान ने क्यों उठा रहे? भगवान ने नहीं उठाया भाई, ये तो सत्य है. आगे पीछे आज कल कभी तो जाता ही है आदमी. And whenever he goes, you will say, अभी जल्दी चला गया. अभी 10 साल और रहना चाहिए था. This is endless story. See? Ask those people whose parents are well beyond 70, 75. Okay? Having almost done away with all their responsibilities and all sort of engagement, worldly engagement. But ask them, would they like their parents to go now? They'll say, नहीं नहीं अभी 5 साल और रुक गए तो क्या है? But after 5 years you ask, again they'll say, नहीं नहीं क्या हुआ अभी तो people live for 100 years now, so why not अभी 10 साल और रुक गए तो क्या? 10 more years, 5 more years. Why should he go? Why should she go? Yes or no? So ये never ending है. प्रवृत्ति से प्रवृत्ति निकलती है. Right? Having achieved certain age, if somebody wants to say, now I leave this world, will you allow him? Will say, no, अभी जल्दी है, अभी बच जाओ. कोई 100 साल में भी बोलेगा कि मैं जा रहा हूं तो कोई बच्चे क्या बोलेगा? नहीं 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 जल्दी है, अभी मत जाओ, अभी और रहो. तो recognize this fact. While some things we may say हाँ untimely हो गया, ऐसा हो गया, but the fact is it is unpredictable and therefore we must learn it. If it is unpredictable for others, it is so similar case for us. It is unpredictable for us also. Yes or no? So why to live in such a state of mind and desirous state that when we are leaving this world, we are full of only the tendency to grasp it anyhow, right? Because there are so many unfulfilled agendas. We are not satisfied. We are not contented with what is available to us. And only with the real dispassion, such a state will come when जब भी परमात्मा बुलाएगा कि भाई चलो टाइम हो गया, अच्छा ठीक है, थैंक यू, I'm coming. Has anyone lived here permanently? No one. Having recognized that, when we prepare ourselves, prepare means what? So preparation means no time is given. Preparations mean right here, right now. Am I ready to live? Have I achieved what I wanted to? Have I achieved that peace, that explosion of joy, bliss within me? A sense of contentment, sense of fulfillment, so much so that I may live now. That's dispassion, ultimate dispassion. Okay? Right? How to create that dispassion in life? Live your life in 100% contentment. This moment itself should become satisfying. Live your life without any complaints towards the world right now. Live your life in complete thankfulness. And always remember the purpose of your life. That is to know who am I and what is the purpose of this world. That's it. Understood? So two things, two are actionable. Others are kind of accepting the world as it is, accepting the situation as it is, and feeling full of, completely fulfilled at this moment. Don't postpone your happiness for tomorrow. Be happy right now for whatever God has given you, whatever Mother Divine has blessed you with. She knows your good is in what, and therefore she will do everything what is congenial to your growth. Growth not only in worldly affairs, but also in your spiritual endeavors. Therefore, you should always accept the world, the presented situations in such a way for which there is no insistence. ये ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. This has to be like that. Without living without insistence. Okay. Instead of asking क्यों होता है, क्यों हुआ, why, accepting that this is so, it is so, and happily, joyously accepting it. Understand? It is so. क्वेश्चनिंग से क्या हुआ? कुछ नहीं होगा, कुछ होता ही नहीं दुनिया में. भगवान ने दुनिया क्यों बनाई? अरे भाई बनाई, जब मिलना उनसे पूछ लेना क्यों बनाई. अभी तो ये फील करो कि बनाई. भगवान ने जिंदगी क्यों बनाई? बनाई है. Why God has created life? Why God has created death? Why God has created? बनाई. ऐसे ही है, हमारे साथ भी ऐसे ही होना है, सबके साथ ऐसे ही होता है. Everyone faces the same situations in life. I will also face the same situation in life. All the events are common. Why are we complaining about the world? So living at zero complaint level, right? So your practice should be living with zero insistence level, living at zero complaint level. You see, when you start living at zero complaint level, you will have the second, living at zero insistence level. Don't have any complaint. So काय का insistence? What to insist for? Okay. Right? These are the things which we start inculcating knowingly. These become our vritti, right? And I'll tell you to practice this. Whenever you hear anything, although you may say, you may have to utter that अरे बहुत बुरा हो गया. You may have to say अरे, but remember, in your mind space, you should never utter this word that it has happened very bad. Something very bad has happened. Instead, what you should say, there must be some good in it. Whatever has happened, there is some goodness in it. Must have been. I'm not able to see, but there must be some good in it. Right? Understand? With that kind of attitude, if you start living, then you will, so-called questionable events will come. I mean, if you're not loaded with this wisdom, you will be having the tendency to question those events. But in living in such wisdom, such bhava, will say, maybe I'm not able to see, but there must be some good in it for all, including me. That kind of vritti is developed. Only at the later stages, you can develop Vairagya. You can't directly move from Raga Dvesha to Vairagya. From Raga Dvesha, you have to create a mental software, a language within, which converts all the jerky events into a smooth experience. right? Or not? All the uha-puha, all the ups and downs, all the profits and losses create a peaceful situation. Once that is achieved, and Patanjali has already talked about Vrittya Panchataya Klishta Aklishta, which means whenever we are faced with difficult situations and we do not lose our peace of mind, we have already converted the Klishta situation into a Klishta experience. Okay? Understand? Klishta means difficult, arduous, kind of suffering. That is the experience. But that may be situation outside. Internally, I'm okay. I'm peaceful. Right? Our whole system would grow sequentially. We can't take a jump right now. We say, yeah, we move from the state we are in to Paravairagya. That does not happen. Even Aparavairagya will not happen. Okay. What you will have to do, you will have to engage yourself in the world in most positive possible way. Understand? That's the first stop over. That's the first level where you have to reach. Don't develop Vairagya. I'm not asking you to develop Vairagya. It's not possible immediately. First become okay with what is. Right? First come in terms with, coming at terms with whatever exists. And say it's okay. And then you should have courage and capacity to say, and I'm happy. And our existence is for our own happiness. Yes or no? And the happiness is our natural state. You know? If you become sick, somebody can come and ask you, why you became sick? But if you're healthy, nobody will come and ask, why are you healthy? Which means what? Sickness is abnormality. It's not your natural state. Right? But the world has become so pathetic a place that when you become happy today, which is your natural state, people will ask, Sharma ji, kyun? Bahut khush ho rahe ho aaj? Kya baat ho gayi? You see? Why? Because all others are blue, long faces. So the happiness has become your natural state of joyousness, expressing joy, expressing smile, expressing laughter has become so rare now. Most of them are busy with their busy lifestyle, busy with their busy situations, and gloomy, sad, anxious. That is sometimes if a swastha, if a completely emotionally healthy person comes and is full of smile, joy, and there's a kya baat hai, khush kyun ho? Arey, come on, you should ask kya baat hai, dukhi kyun ho? You should always ask people, bhai, what is the reason, why are you sad? Now there is a reverse, opposite question coming to us. क्या बात है, बहुत खुश नजर आ रहे हैं. अरे भाई, खुश रहने के लिए जिंदगी मिली, इसलिए खुश नजर आ रहे हैं. दुखी रहना नेचुरल स्टेट नहीं है. आवर नेचुरल स्टेट इज हैप्पी, जॉयफुल डिस्पोजिशन. अभी लोग सीरियस हो जाते हैं. दे बिकम सीरियस. सीरियस लोगों की बीमारियां अलग होती हैं. भावुक लोगों की बीमारियां अलग होती हैं. ये मैं आपको बताता हूं. गिल्ट में रहने वालों की बीमारियां अलग होती है. पीपल हु लिव इन अ सैड स्टेट, दे फेस डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ डिजीज. People who live in guilt, they feel different kind of disease. People who live in jealousy feel different kind of disease. People who live in lust, they feel different kind of diseases. People who are not having right kind of pride for themselves face different kind of diseases. People who live life seriously and always keep a long face a different kind of disease. And I'll tell you, people who are happy and always happy may also feel some kind of diseases, but their diseases are also different. They also face certain disease. Okay? But that's worth. Living happily and having diseases means diseases will not affect you. Still be happy only, right? Okay? Tell me, if you are a happy person by disposition, by nature, by choice, by your expression, even with the diseases you will be happy. And you may have seen such people. I can tell you. Those who are happy by way of their karma prarabdha, by their accumulated karma of all lifetimes, if certain diseases appear in their body, they are still happy. Theek hai, it's okay. Hmm? Therefore, always remember, you should have right kind of pride for yourself. Sense of pride need to be inculcated. Develop right kind of pride to become healthy. To become healthy, you should have right kind of speech. You can't continue to say, Dunya buri hai, the world is bad, people are bad, the government is bad, the roads are bad, the air is bad, the water is bad, sewage system is bad, and then come back and say, I'm happy. It is not possible. Right? Right kind of a speech will create health in you. Right kind of vision will create health in you. I'm just coming to your health. Swasth, because the word I uttered was swasth. And what Patanjali is talking about, that's the ultimate swasth. You being situated or stabilized in Satchid Ananda. That is also swasth, by the way. ठीक है? Right or not? So look around and be observant. You will find that to become healthier, you should also have right kind of thinking, right kind of thoughts. Right kind of thoughts are in which you don't continuously make circles. Don't create vrittis. Right? You move your thinking in a straight line. This, then what next? This, then what next? If this is the outcome, then this is what I am supposed to do. You should not live life in Hindi, I'm saying, पता नहीं क्या होगा. I don't know what will happen. अरे पता नहीं है तो चुप रहो ना. Two types of worries people face. Sometimes people say, I don't know what is going to come. I don't know what is going to happen. And second experience is, I know what is about to come. That's another worry. If you know what is about to come, prepare for it. Why to worry? And if you don't know what is coming, then live joyously, live happily. You don't know na, what is coming. Right or not? So in both the cases, there is no scope for becoming anxious or worried. So Patanjali is actually saying that you must learn to use this word to recognize yourself, and there is only one way, developing detachment. But I'm saying detachment is far off thing for ordinary people. First, you should create a joyous state of living. Out of that joyous state of living, whatever energy you accumulate, the strength you gather, that will give you the capacity to develop detachment. I'll say in another way. If you ask a beggar that, forget about, there's nothing in this world. Why are you running after money, begging, cent by cent, coin by coin, collecting money? There's nothing in the money. Drop the money. You say, you don't know. With money you can buy many things. I am after money because once I will have money, then I'll become happy. Right or not? He will not drop it. He will not drop the endeavor of begging. What does it mean? It simply means that we live in hope. We live in a lot of hope that tomorrow something will happen and then I will be happy. Drop that expectation. A beggar is not happy and the topmost industrialist is also not peaceful. So please remember that. You are not moving in any direction of progress, by the way. Thinking that tomorrow there will be more money, I'll be more happy, more secure, more financially independent, and therefore I'll be more peaceful inside. No, 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 no. Sorry. Pravritti se pravritti. Always remember. With more money, you will have more problems. With the more assets, you will have more problems. With the bigger business, you will have more problems. Ashanti hi aayegi, shanti nahi aayegi. You will only get ashanti, anxiety, worry, restlessness. You will not get peace of mind, I can tell you. You are most peaceful probably in your days, which you can recollect, when you had this limited scope, I guess. Morning, get up, get your lunch packed. And that too you don't need to do. Your mother, your parents will do it. Pack the lunch bag, take it to, put it in the bag, put some books, go to school. Okay? Spend time with books, spend time with other learners, spend time with your teachers, spend time in the campus, and then come back. Only one work to do, study. And then nothing else. Interact with others, be happy. No ambition, nothing. No business empire. Right? And I can tell you, the level and experience of joy, even in that school in which you would have probably studied, for a poor student was also the same. I'm talking of that school, learning school. For the poor student who was not so affluent, the parents were not so rich, was the same. I'll say would have been much better than those who had lot of money. First, there is a equal joy, mostly. But if at all there is any lack of so-called joy in the schooling days, it can have its impact only if the parents are too rich. Then the schooling may become a experience of suffering. Otherwise, schooling is always one project: study and have fun. Those were the happiest days. Do you recognize? So look at it. Kuch problem nahi hai. There is no problem. The only problem is pravritti se pravritti. We need more and more and more and more. Why it is coming? Because there is no detachment. So have you decided for yourself ki this much you will earn, then you will stop earning? Tell me. Have you decided for yourself that this much I will earn, then I will stop earning? Have you put a limit? This much I will learn and then I'll stop learning. Tell me. Have you put a limit to yourself that this much I will live and then I'll stop living? It's enough is enough. Have you? Right? नहीं ना? तो फिर कब दौड़ना बंद होगा? When you will stop running, chasing? That word is, that phrase is wild goose chase. Endless. You never get to that because you have not decided your own goals. Set up your goals. Set your goals. क्या है? First goal is here itself, and that is the ultimate goal. Set your goal. I want to create a content, joyous, respectful, grateful disposition. That's it. And that is the ultimate goal also. Why to wait for tomorrow? Today also I can create it. I can be peaceful, joyous, grateful individual. Right now, right here. Do you need anything for that? Do you need $10 to be given or $100 million to be given right now here to achieve that sense of I'm contented, I'm peaceful, I'm joyous? and I'm full of gratitude for what I have. You have to do nothing instead to achieve this. Yes or no? Whether you have a bank balance or you don't have a bank balance, you can achieve it. And when you recognize that you can be peaceful despite all the world's shortcomings or so-called supply, then you should develop vairagya. अरे ये तो मैं इसके पीछे जबरदस्ती भागता था. I was running for no reason. I can be happy, joyous without that also. I can be grateful, peaceful, contented without that also. Then that natural vairagya will come. You see, not forced vairagya, natural vairagya, right? Understand? So vairagya, apara vairagya first we need to develop, and for that we need to develop cheerful disposition, grateful disposition. Understood? Contented, peaceful disposition that we develop, and then apara vairagya is developed. Don't think that vairagya can be developed by depressed people. That's not vairagya. Right? Sad people. No, that's not vairagya. Always remember, we live only to chase happiness while we have all the capacity to be happy now, here. Look at that. I'll say it again. Be alert and listen. We chase happiness while we all have the capacity to be happy now and here. Why are you chasing it? Then what you will do when you will become happy now and here? Now you will work to express your happiness, not to derive happiness. Understand? Again and again, I'm focusing too much on these two verses, Vairagya, 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 Abhyas, 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 because later on we'll not find much place for it. Patanjali will engage us in many deeper things. More details will come. Samadhi, etc. will come, and they are all going to become theoretical subject only, because you have not experienced the joyous state. What you talk Samadhi? Samadhi is a far off thing. Maybe next lifetime. This lifetime, at least develop that joyous disposition. I can declare it with my all authority, capacity, and experience of life. To be happy does not require a thing, a situation. You can be happy only if you choose to be. Remember? And in your happiness only you can develop Vairagya. Probably you were thinking that if I become sad, I will develop Vairagya. No, sorry. That's not possible. Learn to be happy, joyous, grateful for what you have all the time. Then only you can develop Vairagya. Patanjali was not cracking jokes when he developed the vrittis first. And then he defined vrittya, panchataya, klishta, aklishta. He wanted you to understand that klishta vrittis have to be accepted in such a way, have to be analyzed in such a way that they become aklishta for you. First, you develop a life which is full of aklishta experiences, despite having klishta situations. Which means, despite having difficult situations, internal experience should be of peace and tranquility, stability. That's the first step. After that, he will talk of Abhyasa Vairagya. Okay? Not before that. The first Abhyasa is to be happy. Please be happy. Don't take happiness too seriously. Just be happy. Okay. In which state, in what state you are dispassionate? Only in your happy state, joyous state. Remember always. Okay. Don't take life too seriously and don't become serious in life. again I tell you, then Vairagya will be possible. Don't take yourself also too seriously, by the way. Yeah, that is the ultimate. Don't take yourself too seriously. हमारे जैसे कितने आए और चले गए. Billions and trillions like us have come and gone. Why are you taking yourself so seriously? On this planet, at this moment, there are 7 billion people. And you're taking yourself too seriously. इतना seriously मत लो, कुछ नहीं होना. Don't take yourself too seriously. Take this opportunity of you being here, experiencing this grand creation of the God. You have come here to experience that. Look above, look around, experience what it is. Look at the sun, look at the moon, look at the stars, experience the wind, go in the forest, experience mountains, and even contemplate of what it is, how big it is. Look at the galaxies. If you want to become a spiritual, if you want to experience the grandness, become a stargazer instead of window gazer. Some people are interested in gazing windows of their neighborhood. You will move beyond, and then only you can experience God's creation, for which you have come here, to experience God's creation. Look at the world which exists for you. It's full of activity, full of joy, full of so much enthusiasm. Everything is moving with enthusiasm. Whether you get up early or not, every day sun will rise, shining in the east. That's its deputed time. Yesterday, people were sleeping, and therefore I don't feel like rising up. No, sun never says. I knocked at various doors, nobody opened their windows, and therefore today I will not shine as much because yesterday people did not notice. No, sun rises in the east. Again, enthusiastic. Look at the birds. Each morning you'll find them chirping, flying with joy. You intelligent people, get them in the morning. क्या करना है? What need to be done today? Life is this. Such people will establish themselves in Vairagya, forget about it. So I think with your questions and subsequent answers and deviations, one point has been driven home probably. And that is, to create Vairagya, we need to become happy first. Okay. Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. हमने बचपन में, हिंदी में बोलता हूँ, हमने हिंदी में कहानियां पढ़ी थी बचपन, और हमने इस देश पर जान देने वाले वीर शहीदों के बारे में पढ़ा था. ठीक है. सारी किताबों में ये लिखा हुआ था कि और उन देश के सपूतों ने हंसते हंसते फांसी के फंदे पर लटक कर जान दे दी. That means हंसते हंसते ही फांसी के फंदे पर लटकने से उसका पर्पस सॉल्व होता है. रोते रोते तो कोई भी लटकता है. समझ में आई बात? हंसते हंसते ही जान देने की ताकत महसूस होती है. वह पर वैराग्य है ना. मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, ये देश रहना चाहिए. वैराग्य. राइट? राइट है ना? ये वैराग्य कैसा था? दुखी होकर के मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, देश रहना चाहिए. नो. पॉजिटिव, कंटेंट, जॉयस. किसलिए? टेकिंग प्राइड इन राइट काइंड ऑफ एक्शन, living with the right kind of pride. Did I not tell you that? I am I am the one who is dying for liberating this land. And that right kind of pride keeps me swastha. And swastha means established in my true being, true nature, which means Satchid Anand. That means expression of joy. I am joyous because I am working for the right purpose. So what if I die? In that happiness, the courage to accept the ultimate fate of this human life is possible. हंसते हंसते, रोते रोते कोई फांसी के फंदे पे चढ़ता नहीं है, चढ़ाया जाता है, धक्के मारा जाता है. रोते रोते कोई नहीं चढ़ता फांसी के फंदे पे. चढ़ता है जो, वो हंसते हुए ही चढ़ता है. याद रखना. राइट. सो अगर दुनिया फांसी का फंदा भी है, if this world is a place where you're going to be hanged till death, then also you can face it only when you are happy. Okay? Otherwise nahi hoga. Otherwise it is not possible. Understand that? But develop that happy attitude. Again and again I am drawing back to happiness, happiness, happiness. Why? Because Patanjali himself has said, you have to learn to live in aklishta state of mind. Internal experiences are to become aklishta, which means congenial, which means peaceful, which means the ones which are not disturbing, the ones which don't take away our intellect. Right? So please start that. For today, this much is enough, I think. Next time we will definitely take up beyond the Vairagya, because now onwards Patanjali is going to take into absorptions. What kind of absorptions are possible? The absorption in self. Right? An absorption in self will happen only when the expression of self is perfected. Expression of self is expression of joy. Okay? Otherwise, what will be your absorption? You were already sad and now your absorption. दुखी मन से किया गया ध्यान किस चीज में डुबकी लगवाएगा? Where you are going to take that dip if you are already sad? In the river of sadness only. Yes or no? If internally you are only sad, and in that sadness you sit for meditation, what is going to be your experience? Though that is false, but that is at the surface. That sadness is your covering, yes. But whenever you will try to go within, more and more sadness will come. Even after so-called contemplation or absorption or being with yourself, will come out more depressed, more unhappy, more sad. Yes or no? Please remember, that has to be crossed. ये इश्क नहीं आसान, एक आग का दरिया है ना, और डूब के जाना है. आग का दरिया बीच में है बस. It is in the middle. Beyond that, it is all peaceful. So ये आग का दरिया needs to be converted. The oceanic fire needs to be crossed, and that is of your own gloom which you have created, nothing else. Please understand. False understanding, wrong expectations. These are the two reasons for creating all the fire in this world. Wrong understanding and wrong expectations. Okay? Try to work on it, become happy, and once you are happy, then the Patanjali will tell you how to become absorbed in the happiness you are. The real face of yours will be revealed. Not before that. Okay. Thank you. Let's pray and then we'll leave. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम शिवम।